Briefing, November 13, 2024. Subject: New lineup of the Trump administration and its foreign policy orientation. Key information points *. 1. There is a trend within the Republican Party shifting from neoconservatism to America First, with key figures including Florida Senator Marco Rubio and Congressman Michael Waltz. 2. Trump may appoint these loyalists to important positions such as Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense, whose foreign policy will lean more towards pragmatic transactionalism rather than ideology-driven approaches. 3. On the Ukraine issue, Rubio and Waltz initially supported aid to Ukraine but later opposed it, arguing that the U.S. should not expend resources for Ukraine's freedom. 4. Both are also taking a hardline stance on China, advocating for the cancellation of normal trade relations with China and increasing economic sanctions. 5. The foreign policy of Trump's second term may be more consistent and coordinated, as he has cultivated a loyal following. Summary *. The foreign policy of Trump's second term will be more pragmatic and America First, moving away from ideological emphasis towards a focus on transactions and interests. The shift from neoconservatism to America First within the Republican Party will see these figures become the core diplomatic team of the Trump administration. Their positions on Ukraine and China reflect this change. Trump's second term will likely be more unified and coordinated due to the loyal followers he has developed. Briefing: The Ukraine War and U.S.-European relations. Key information points *. 1. European allies are quietly shifting towards the belief that the war between Ukraine and Russia can only be resolved through negotiations, which may require territorial concessions from Ukraine. This view has gained urgency following Trump's election. 2. European countries are increasing military and financial support for Ukraine to ensure it has sufficient bargaining power in negotiations, while also worrying that the Trump administration may cut off aid to Ukraine. 3. Ukraine remains steadfast in its stance that recovering all territory is a victory, but polls show an increasing number of Ukrainians are willing to accept some territorial concessions for peace. 4. European nations want to ensure that any negotiations are not perceived as a victory for Russia, but achieving this goal remains a challenge. 5. The policy direction of the new U.S. government is a key uncertainty, and Europe is closely monitoring and preparing for it. Summary *. The Ukraine war has reached a critical juncture, with European countries preparing for potential negotiations while needing to balance the complex considerations of maintaining Ukraine's interests and avoiding a Russian victory. The shift in U.S. policy following Trump's election is a key variable, prompting Europe to closely observe and take measures in response. Briefing: Russia may target U.S.-Canada flights with incendiary devices. Date: November 13, 2024. According to the Wall Street Journal, Russia may be targeting flights to the US and Canada with incendiary devices. Some incidents of combustion in Germany and the UK in July are believed to be part of a covert operation by Russia aimed at igniting fires on cargo and passenger flights. Russian officials deny involvement in these criminal acts. Key information points *. 1. Russia may be attempting to ignite fires on U.S. and Canadian flights using incendiary devices. 2. This operation is linked to the combustion incidents in Germany and the UK in July, which are believed to be covertly implemented by Russia. 3. Russia denies involvement in these criminal acts. Overall, this briefing succinctly summarizes the core content of the article, highlighting the most valuable information points while maintaining overall logic and coherence. Briefing: Square Enix's transformation journey. Summary *. Square Enix is currently facing adverse financial conditions, with a 27% drop in revenue. This decline is primarily attributed to the establishment of a morality department for game content review, which has sparked dissatisfaction among players. Meanwhile, other Japanese gaming companies are also adopting diversification and inclusivity policies, which may further impact Square Enix's development. In response to these challenges, Square Enix is shifting towards multi-platform releases, moving away from its long-standing exclusive collaborations with console manufacturers like Sony and Nintendo. Key information points *. 1. Square Enix's latest financial report shows a 27% decline in revenue, leading to financial difficulties. 2. The establishment of a morality department to review game content has led to player dissatisfaction and is seen as a major reason for the performance decline. 3. Other Japanese gaming companies are also adopting diversification and inclusivity policies, which may further affect Square Enix's development. 4. To address these challenges, Square Enix is transitioning to multi-platform releases, moving away from its long-standing exclusive collaboration model. Summary: Square Enix is currently undergoing a transformation, facing dual pressures from internal and external sources. The internal morality department review policy has triggered player dissatisfaction, while externally, other Japanese gaming companies are adopting more inclusive policies. To reverse its decline, Square Enix is adjusting its release strategy and attempting to move towards multi-platform distribution. Whether this transformation will help Square Enix regain its former glory remains to be seen. Briefing: the 2024 climate crisis and trade conflicts coexist. Key points: 1. Climate change is intensifying in 2024, with the 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature rise target likely to be breached, posing severe challenges for the upcoming UN Climate Conference, COP29. 2. The UK has announced a new target to reduce emissions by 81% by 2035, reflecting the urgency of climate action. However, there are disagreements between developed and developing countries regarding climate financing. 3. Trump's re-election as U.S. president may trigger a new wave of trade wars due to his protectionist tendencies, creating uncertainty for the global economy. 4. Germany is experiencing political turmoil, with the coalition government collapsing and economic models facing transformation pressures. This may impact the European integration process. 5. The Guardian's editor is providing psychological counseling for staff, reflecting concerns and anxieties in the media industry regarding Trump's election. Summary: the coexistence of the climate crisis and trade conflicts in 2024 presents severe challenges for the world. Disagreements between developed and developing countries on climate action and economic model transformation necessitate international cooperation to address these global issues. All sectors must remain vigilant and take decisive action to respond to potential future uncertainties. Briefing: the era of sports. Date: November 13, 2024. This briefing focuses on the entrepreneurial journey and professional development of Mr. Wang Shuangshuang, a leading figure in the sports industry. Mr. Wang has loved sports since childhood, and inspired by his teachers at Jilin Sports College, he decided to become a professional fitness coach. After enduring the hardships of Beijing drifting, he founded Zishi Sports Fitness and Rehabilitation Industry in Beijing in 2013, marking a significant turning point in his career. In terms of professional skills, Mr. Wang continuously pursues learning and has traveled abroad multiple times to exchange and learn top fitness and rehabilitation techniques. He has independently developed a human movement function reconstruction training system, gaining wide recognition in the industry. Additionally, he has won numerous awards in various competitions and selections due to his outstanding professional level. Beyond professional skills, Mr. Wang places great importance on social welfare. He actively participated in volunteer services for the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics and Paralympics and responded to UNICEF's volunteer activities, contributing to children's health education. These experiences deepened his understanding of the power and value of sports and strengthened his determination to continue engaging in public welfare. In the future, Mr. Wang will continue to lead the Lidi sports team in ongoing innovation and development, providing high-quality sports health management services to more people. He also hopes to further promote the implementation of the National Fitness Program and contribute to the Healthy China development strategy. In summary, Mr. Wang Shuangshuang has established a positive role model in the sports industry through his professional skills, sense of social responsibility, and continuous innovation spirit, which will undoubtedly inject more momentum into the vigorous development of China's sports industry. Briefing: the evolution of culinary culture in Seville's Old Town and Tenerife Island. This briefing will summarize the following aspects. 1. Unique scenery of Seville's Old Town. Seville's Old Town is famous for its narrow cobblestone alleys, white houses, colorful tiled benches, and blooming flowers. It retains a strong Andalusian charm and is a must-visit spot for tourists. Many small family-run hotels are nestled in tranquil courtyards, providing visitors with a peaceful refuge. The rooftop terraces of these hotels are a highlight, offering views of the cathedral and its Giralda Tower, where guests can enjoy a glass of dry sherry and experience the warmth of Andalusia. 2. Transformation of culinary culture in Tenerife Island. In the past, the dining industry in Tenerife primarily focused on home-style dishes, but significant changes have occurred. 8 restaurants on the island have received Michelin stars, with top local and international chefs driving Tenerife to become a culinary destination. Traditional family-style restaurants are also enhancing their offerings to adapt to the overall increase in dining standards. Visitors can find not only familiar home-cooked meals, but also innovative Canarian delicacies. 3. Postponement and rescheduling of the Tyson vs. Paul boxing match. The boxing match between Tyson and Paul, originally scheduled for July 20th, was postponed due to Tyson's gastric ulcer issue. The match has now been rescheduled for November 15th, alongside the Taylor vs. Serrano light heavyweight boxing match. Spectators who purchase tickets for the July event can use them to attend the November match. 4. Medical fraud scandal involving U.S. Senator Scott. Scott, the former CEO of the Columbia/HCA Hospital Group, was implicated in a $1.7 billion Medicare fraud case during his tenure, marking the largest fraud case in U.S. medical history. Although Scott claims to take responsibility and has learned from the experience, he has become one of Trump's staunchest supporters and is seen as a potential future Senate Majority Leader. 5. John Lennon and his relationship with his eldest son Julian. After divorcing his first wife Cynthia, Lennon had little contact with his eldest son Julian. Julian recalls his desire to establish a good relationship with his father, but Lennon remained distant. It wasn't until many years after Lennon's death that Julian ultimately forgave him and began to heal his emotional wounds through music. Overall, this briefing covers various fields, including Spain, the Canary Islands, and U.S. politics, providing vivid descriptions of local characteristics and objective analyses of significant events, aiming to comprehensively summarize the core information of the articles and provide readers with a concise and thorough reference. Briefing: the changing political landscape in the U.S. and competition in search engines. Key information points *. 1. Trump is forming his next government, planning to significantly reduce the size of the federal government and appoint loyalists to key departments. This will disrupt decades of bipartisan institutional culture. 2. In France, a middle school principal testified about the 2020 teacher murder case, detailing the events leading up to it. This case reflects the challenges faced by French society in areas such as religion and education. 3. Trump's appointment of conservative figures lacking military experience as Secretary of Defense has sparked controversy within the Republican Party, reflecting a bias in personnel appointments. 4. Italian Prime Minister Meloni is implementing strict immigration policies, establishing large immigrant reception centers in Albania to outsource refugee applications, which has sparked internal disputes in Europe regarding immigration issues. 5. Google's automated advertising system Performance Max has led to a decline in search result quality and a deterioration in user experience. This presents a market opportunity for OpenAI's ChatGPT search engine, which emphasizes information accuracy and content creator friendliness. Summary *. This briefing encompasses various aspects of the changing political landscape in the U.S., social challenges in France, immigration policy disputes, and competition in search engines. The article is rich in content, providing both macro perspectives on politics, diplomacy, and society, as well as specific case analyses, highlighting key information points and offering clear logic for readers to gain comprehensive and in-depth insights. Briefing: the surge of racial discrimination texts after Trump's election and Biden's meeting with Trump on Ukraine issues. Key information points *. 1. Following Trump's election, a large number of Black and Hispanic individuals received harassing texts related to forced labor and deportation. The FBI and FCC have intervened in the investigation. This reflects concerns that Trump's election may lead to a surge in hate crimes. 2. Biden and Trump will meet at the White House to discuss important domestic and foreign issues, including continued support for Ukraine against Russia. Biden hopes to demonstrate a peaceful and orderly transition of power through this meeting. 3. Trump previously spoke with Zelensky and invited Musk to participate, suggesting he may attempt to exert influence on the Ukraine issue. However, Biden insists on ensuring that Ukraine is in the most favorable position at the negotiating table. 4. Spain is experiencing a new wave of heavy rainfall, leading to severe flooding, prompting authorities to enhance warnings and take emergency measures. This highlights the disastrous consequences of climate change. Summary: The surge of racial discrimination texts following Trump's election raises concerns, while Biden's meeting with Trump will address significant issues such as Ukraine. Additionally, Spain's new wave of heavy rainfall underscores the severe challenges posed by climate change. These events reflect the serious political, security, and environmental issues facing both the U.S. and the world. Briefing: Germany's turning point and Volkswagen's dilemma. Germany is currently undergoing a turning point, Zeitenwende, a term initially coined by Chancellor Scholz to describe the significant shift in Germany's foreign and defense policies following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This turning point is not only evident in the political sphere but also deeply impacts the German economy. As one of Germany's representative companies, Volkswagen is facing severe challenges. Volkswagen is considering closing 3 of its factories in Germany, laying off tens of thousands of employees, and reducing wages in an effort to achieve cost savings of €4 billion. The root of this dilemma lies in Volkswagen's long-standing reliance on the Chinese market, but in recent years, Chinese consumers have increasingly turned to domestic electric vehicles, leading to a significant decline in Volkswagen's market share due to its lag in electric vehicle technology. Moreover, the article points out that Volkswagen should have invested heavily in the early stages of the electric vehicle revolution to develop affordable models with advanced battery technology, rather than continuing to produce profit-rich but fuel-inefficient SUVs. This decision-making error has resulted in Volkswagen being far outpaced by Chinese brands in the electric vehicle market. In summary, Volkswagen's dilemma reflects the deep transformation facing the German economy, which requires not only structural adjustments but also fundamental reforms in technological innovation and market responsiveness. This turning point presents significant challenges for German companies and the economy, but also offers opportunities for transformation and upgrading. Briefing: Volkswagen's transformation and social changes in Germany. Main points: 1. Volkswagen, as a representative enterprise of the German economy, is facing severe challenges. Influenced by the rise of the Chinese electric vehicle market, Volkswagen's sales in China have plummeted, and due to cost pressures, the company is considering closing 3 factories in Germany, laying off tens of thousands of employees and cutting salaries. 2. This reflects the turning point of the overall German economy. From energy policy to industrial structure, Germany is undergoing significant changes, which is also evident in traditional enterprises like Volkswagen. 3. Volkswagen's dilemma stems from its failure to timely shift towards the electric vehicle sector, continuing instead to produce profit-rich but energy-inefficient SUVs. This highlights the inadequacies of German companies in responding to technological transformations. 4. Meanwhile, the German public and elite circles express confusion and disbelief over Trump's re-election as U.S. president. They have labeled Trump and his supporters as fascists and losers, yet this has not affected Trump's electoral victory. 5. This reflects the cognitive gap between the elite and the general public. The elite have become too immersed in luxury beliefs, neglecting the real concerns of ordinary people regarding employment, public safety, and education. To rebuild trust between the elite and the public, it is necessary to listen to and respect the demands of ordinary citizens. In conclusion, Germany is experiencing profound social changes, and Volkswagen's dilemma reflects this transformation process. At the same time, the changes in the U.S. political landscape highlight the cognitive divide between the elite and the general public, necessitating mutual understanding and trust building between both sides. Briefing, China-Europe relations. Date, November 13, 2024. 1. New opportunities and challenges in China-Europe relations. 1. The newly elected U.S. President Trump is expected to implement tougher trade policies, creating a sense of urgency for China-Europe relations, necessitating enhanced coordination in response. 2. The EU's new Trade and Economic Security Commissioner, Šefčovič, holds a tough stance on China, arguing that China has failed to provide fair market access for European companies, which may affect future China-Europe economic cooperation. 3. The EU's foreign policy chief, Borrell, has accused China of supporting Russia, a statement that is ideologically biased and contradicts the facts, hindering the development of China-Europe relations. 2. Broad prospects for China-Europe cooperation. 1. The annual trade volume between the two major economies of China and Europe approaches $800 billion, with shared interests far outweighing differences. Disputes should be resolved through dialogue and consultation to maintain mutually beneficial cooperation. 2. China and France have resumed discussions on the import tariffs for European brandy, with both sides committed to resolving differences through dialogue and consultation. 3. China and Europe should abandon ideological biases and adopt an open and inclusive mindset towards each other, jointly safeguarding the comprehensive strategic partnership between China and Europe. 3. Strong development momentum in China's children's book publishing industry. 1. The 2024 Shanghai International Children's Book Fair in China will be held from November 15 to 17, featuring 497 publishers from 32 countries and regions showcasing over 20,000 new books. 2. This year's fair has invited several internationally renowned children's literature authors, including Caldecott Medal winner John Klassen and Diary of a Wimpy Kid author Jeff Kinney. 3. The Children's Book Fair has become an important platform for the development of China's children's publishing industry, attracting an increasing number of international exhibitors and providing Chinese readers with richer and more diverse content. In summary, China-Europe relations face new opportunities and challenges, and both sides should adopt an open and inclusive mindset to resolve differences through dialogue and consultation, jointly promoting the continuous deepening of the comprehensive strategic partnership between China and Europe. Meanwhile, China's children's book publishing industry is thriving, and the Shanghai International Children's Book Fair has become a vital platform for industry development. Briefing, Japan's Liberal Democratic Party, Komeito, and the Democratic Party for the People Policy Research Meeting. Date, November 13, 2024. 1. The ruling coalition of Japan's Liberal Democratic Party and Komeito, along with the opposition Democratic Party for the People, held their first policy research meeting at the National Diet Building. 2. The meeting discussed the government's comprehensive economic measures planned for this month, with the Democratic Party for the People proposing 15 additional requests, including support for wage increases and improving real income. 3. The three parties indicated that they would continue negotiations this week to seek consensus. 2. Incident of Japanese student murder in Shenzhen. 1. On September 18, a 10-year-old Japanese boy was stabbed while on his way to school in Shenzhen and died the next day. 2. Following the incident, the Japanese consulate in Hong Kong issued a warning urging Japanese citizens to be cautious. Japanese schools in Hong Kong also allowed students to wear casual clothes to school. 3. The victims' parents and other Japanese citizens expressed shock and unease over safety in mainland China and Hong Kong. However, some believe the incident should not be overly politicized. 4. The Chinese side has not disclosed the suspect's motive, raising concerns about anti-Japanese sentiment in China. Experts are calling for the Chinese side to publicly share investigation information while urging all parties to remain calm. 3. New evidence of ancient oceans on Mars. 1. Data from China's Zhurong rover indicates that Mars once had a vast ocean that disappeared approximately 3.7 billion years ago. 2. Researchers analyzed geological features collected by Zhurong and other probes, discovering coastlines, sediment channels, and other characteristics that confirm the existence of oceans on Mars. 3. This discovery provides new clues for the possibility of microbial life on Mars, attracting widespread attention from the scientific community. 4. First transport of fuel debris from Fukushima nuclear power plant ***. 1. Tokyo Electric Power Company has transported fuel debris from the No. 2 reactor of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant to the Ore Nuclear Engineering Research Institute for analysis. 2. This marks the first transport of fuel debris from the plant since the Fukushima nuclear accident in 2011, and the analysis results will provide references for future comprehensive cleanup efforts. 3. The analysis is expected to take about a year, and the fuel debris will ultimately be returned to storage at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. In summary, this briefing covers important information across various fields, including Japan's political dynamics, Japan-China relations, Mars exploration, and the ongoing work at the Fukushima nuclear power plant, highlighting key information while succinctly summarizing the content. Briefing: Japan's political and economic situation and the latest developments at Fukushima nuclear power plant. Date: November 13, 2024. 1. Japan's political dynamics ***. 1. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio is scheduled to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping on November 15 during the APEC summit, expected to discuss economic issues and prepare for the impact of the incoming U.S. President Trump. 2. Kishida will also hold a trilateral meeting with U.S. President Biden and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol during the summit to strengthen multilateral cooperation. 2. Japan's economic situation ***. 1. Following Trump's election, the Trump trade has led to a general decline in Asian stock markets, with the Nikkei 225 index falling by 1.7% and the Korean Composite Index dropping by 2.6%. 2. Japan's wholesale price index rose by 3.4% year-on-year in October, marking the highest level since July of last year, partly due to the depreciation of the yen against the dollar. 3. Fukushima nuclear power plant progress ***. 1. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant's No. 3 reactor has obtained a sample of 0.69 grams of molten fuel debris, which will undergo detailed analysis at the Japan Atomic Energy Agency's research facility for a year to formulate a comprehensive extraction plan. 2. Approximately 880 tons of nuclear fuel debris from the 3 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant need to be extracted during the decommissioning process. In summary, the article covers the latest developments in Japan's politics, economy, and the decommissioning of the Fukushima nuclear power plant, highlighting key information while succinctly summarizing the overall content. Briefing: November 13, 2024. 1. An Australian nurse stated that when police aimed a taser at 95-year-old Claire Norland, she had never seen such a situation and was very concerned about the elderly woman's potential fall. Norland later died in the hospital, and the officer has been charged with manslaughter. 2. The new installment of the Mission Impossible series starring Tom Cruise, titled Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, is set to be released in the U.S. on May 23, 2025. This will be the final film in the series, with both Cruise and director Christopher McQuarrie returning. 3. Former England halfback Ben Yans was forced to eat a slice of humility after the Australian team defeated England 42-37 in a recent match, setting a scoring record at Twickenham. Yans had previously criticised the Australian team's performance multiple times. 4. Research indicates that Australia is transitioning from a homeowner-dominated country to one dominated by tenants, with 2/3 of tenants expecting they will never become homeowners. Meanwhile, a head of a large real estate company admitted to using ChatGPT to generate false rental advertisements. 5. An Australia-led study found that installing LED lights under surfboards may help reduce the risk of shark attacks, as this can interfere with sharks' ability to recognize silhouettes in sunlight. In summary, these articles cover various hot topics in Australian society, economy, and technology, providing specific case reports and analyses of future trends, with rich content and substantial information worth paying attention to. Briefing: the impact of Trump's election on US-Canada economic relations. Key information points *. 1. Following Trump's election, Canadian businesses and lawyers are actively responding to potential new trade policies, such as increased tariffs. Canadian manufacturing companies are exploring the establishment of branches in the US to circumvent tariffs, although this still cannot completely avoid rising costs. Lawyers advise companies to proceed cautiously and avoid making significant decisions too early, as Trump's policies remain highly uncertain. Trade lawyers are expected to be very busy in the coming years, assisting businesses in navigating the new economic environment. 2. Trump's election may lead to a surge of immigrants into Canada. The Premier of Quebec and the leader of the Quebec Independence Party are concerned about a potential influx of illegal immigrants and are urging the federal government to prepare. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Quebec have developed emergency plans, including increasing border patrols. The Canadian government has stated it will ensure border security and control immigration flows, but experts anticipate a significant influx nonetheless. 3. Trump's election has implications for the global economy and financial markets. The cryptocurrency market surged following Trump's election, as expectations grew that his administration would be more favorable towards cryptocurrencies. However, cryptocurrencies remain subject to extreme volatility, and investors should exercise caution. Trump's election may also trigger more shareholder activism, requiring companies to respond carefully. In summary, Trump's election has significant implications for US-Canada economic relations and immigration policies, with Canadian businesses and the government actively responding. Additionally, Trump's election has introduced uncertainty into the global economy and financial markets. Briefing: November 13, 2024, The Australian. India and Australia are set to embark on a 5-match Border Gavaskar Trophy (BGT) Test series, marking the first test encounter between the two countries in 32 years. This series holds significant meaning for both sides. 1. For India, a victory over Australia would mark their third consecutive Test series win in Australia, setting a historic precedent. 2. For Australia, this represents their first opportunity in the past decade to win the Border Gavaskar Trophy. While Indian star Virat Kohli typically draws the spotlight, Australian media outlet The Daily Telegraph is focusing on newcomer Yashasvi Jaiswal, dubbing him the new king. In summary, this India-Australia clash is highly anticipated, with both teams striving to secure victory and create historic moments for themselves and their fans. Briefing: Singapore fugitive arrested. In July 2022, Charles Yeo Hui, former chairman of the Reform Party in Singapore, was charged with hurting the religious feelings of the Christian community and insulting police officers, and was granted bail to travel to Vietnam. However, Yeo failed to return to Singapore as scheduled and later stated on social media that he was seeking asylum in the UK. In October 2023, Singapore submitted an extradition request to the UK, and on November 4, 2024, Yeo was arrested by authorities in the UK. Luxury goods industry slump. According to a report by Bain & Company, personal luxury goods sales are expected to decline by 2% in 2022, marking the largest drop in recent years. Key reasons include rising prices, economic uncertainty, and a significant decline in the Chinese market, expected to drop by 20 to 22%. The luxury consumer base has shrunk by 50 million people over the past 2 years, and brands' price hikes have also suppressed consumption. The luxury goods industry is expected to recover with growth of 0 to 4% by 2025, but the Chinese market may not rebound until the second half of the year. Penang container truck accident. On the morning of November 13, 2024, a container truck lost its cargo while turning near Bukit Tengah in Penang, crushing a car and resulting in the death of 21-year-old Lee Zero at the scene. The truck driver has been arrested by police and will face charges of dangerous driving causing death. The accident caused damage to multiple vehicles, and another injured driver was taken to the hospital for treatment. In summary, this briefing covers important information regarding the arrest of a Singapore fugitive, the slump in the luxury goods industry, and the container truck accident in Penang, highlighting key information points while succinctly summarizing the overall content. Briefing, November 13, 2024. 1. Limited fluctuation in Indian rupee exchange rate ***. 1. The Indian rupee appreciated slightly against the US dollar by 1 cent, closing at 84.38. This was mainly influenced by continued foreign capital outflows and a weak domestic stock market. 2. The US dollar index dipped slightly, while Brent crude oil prices rose slightly. 3. Analysts expect that with intervention from the Reserve Bank of India, the rupee may rise to 85 against the dollar in the short term. 2. Decline in AI preparedness among Indian enterprises ***. 1. Cisco's 2024 AI Readiness Index shows that only 18% of Indian enterprises are prepared to deploy and utilize AI, down 8 percentage points from last year. 2. Major issues include insufficient computing power, inadequate data security measures, and a shortage of talent. 3. Enterprises are increasing investments in AI, but half of them have not met their expected returns. Experts are calling for collaboration among government, enterprises, and educational institutions to cultivate local AI talent. 3. Severe air pollution in Pakistan ***. 1. The United Nations has warned that air pollution in Pakistan's largest province, Punjab, poses significant health risks to 11 million children under the age of 5. 2. Cities like Lahore are experiencing air quality levels exceeding standards by over 100 times, leading to hospitalizations of dozens of children. 3. The government has implemented measures such as restricting work and prohibiting outdoor activities, but experts are calling for addressing the root causes of agricultural and industrial emissions to protect children's health. 4. Death of Yoga Master Joyce ***. 1. Ashtanga Yoga founder Joyce passed away this week in Virginia due to a heart attack at the age of 53. 2. Joyce was a third-generation heir of Ashtanga Yoga and had numerous followers worldwide. 3. His grandfather, Pattabhi Joyce, brought yoga to global prominence in the 1990s, attracting widespread attention, including from Hollywood stars. Briefing, November 13, 2024. Israeli parliament votes to ban UNRWA operations in occupied Palestinian territories. Main content ***. 1. Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby resigned for failing to take sufficient action to stop one of the church's most active serial abusers, John Smith, who has been accused of brutal physical and sexual abuse of students attending Christian summer camps for decades. 2. The Israeli parliament voted overwhelmingly to ban UNRWA operations in the occupied Palestinian territories, designating it as a terrorist organization. This move will have disastrous consequences for millions of Palestinians, as UNRWA is an irreplaceable humanitarian agency providing critical medical, educational, and relief services in Gaza. 3. Israel has long sought to undermine UNRWA's role, as it not only commemorates the right of return for Palestinian refugees, but also provides necessary aid and services to Palestinians, which contradicts Israel's genocidal objectives. Israel aims to exert greater control over the humanitarian aid system to amplify the impact of its direct military violence. 4. The international community must firmly defend UNRWA's role and the basic rights of Palestinians. The UN Secretary-General and the Director-General of the World Health Organization have publicly supported UNRWA, emphasizing its irreplaceability. South Africa's appeal to the International Court has also highlighted that Israel's actions violate the Genocide Convention and the court's orders. In summary, the Israeli parliament's decision reflects its genocidal intentions towards Palestinians, and the international community must take action to halt this dangerous trend and protect UNRWA and the critical aid it provides to Palestinians.